Data scanning is a method used in database management to systematically examine and analyze data within a database. It involves traversing through all the records in a database or specific tables, scrutinizing each column's data to understand its type, sample data, and other characteristics. This process is crucial for tasks such as data profiling, which helps to understand data patterns, data quality, and the existence of sensitive information. By performing a comprehensive scan of the database, data scanning provides a clear picture of the data landscape, aiding in data management activities like data cleaning, schema optimization, compliance checks, and data security measures. When a scanned database activity is created, the following configuration properties are created for you. Our first step will be to edit these default configurations to suit our needs. To do this, click the Edit button in the right-hand corner to bring up the following form and fields. The locale is used by faker functions within the scan. For some functions, the locale will change the result, such as with addresses. For a complete list of locations, please refer to our documentation. By default, this will be in English. The Include Views options will show views, which are a result set of a stored query when toggled to on. The Scan Data option will scan for PII data when toggled to on. The Scanning List Application ID option allows you to select the application that your seed lists are in. Seed list names should be unique within an application. The Get Table Counts option will count the number of rows in each table. The Get Null Percentage option will calculate the percentage of nulls. The Get Distinct Count option will calculate the distinct count. The Clear Down Masking Tags option will remove any existing tags before rescanning to set new tags. The next three options show the methods in which you can scan a database. You can scan using seed lists, regex, or meta columns. By setting each one of these categories to true, you will have the option to utilize them later in the data activity. The sample size is an integer input for how many rows to sample during the scan. The List How Many to Match before assigning the tag option controls the sensitivity of the scan. For example, if the minimum number of rows is set to 10 and the sample size is 100, then a column that matches the seed list value for 10% of its values will be assigned a tag. The Get Min Max Values is the option to calculate the minimum and maximum values. If blanks are used in place of null values in the database, any SQL run during the scanning will treat blank columns as if they were null if this option is selected. Now we will attach the database connection that we want to scan. Under Add Components, choose the Attach Default Database Connection component. This will bring up a screen to select your database connection. Next, we'll want to attach the definition version to scan. Under Add Components, choose the Attach Definition Version component and select your definition. There are three ways to scan a database. You can use a seed list, meta columns, or regex categories. Each method will require its own category list to be attached. This allows you to create an instance of a starter list to modify and create the exact rules to use in a scan. To add a category list, choose Create Category List under Actions. The next screen will allow you to choose a server if there is more than one server in the workspace that can execute this action. We will then give the list a name, select the type, provide a description, and select an application. For this tutorial, we will be creating all three lists. For each of your category lists, select the Modify Category List from the Actions dropdown and select Execute. For a seed list category, we have these customizable options available. The active column value specifies whether the seed list will be used in the scan. This field accepts a Y or N value. The category name column value will become the tag name. The seed list column contains the name of the seed list used. And the description column is a section to provide notes. For a regex category list, we have these customizable options available. The active column value specifies whether this regex will be used in the scan. This field accepts a Y or N value. The category name column shows the value which will become the tag name. The regex column contains the regex that will be used in the scan. The priority column value allows you to assign a priority. The higher priority of two items will be chosen when there is a conflict. For a meta column name category list, we have these customizable options available. The active column value specifies whether this column name will be used in the scan. This field accepts a Y or N value. The category name column refers to the value that will become the tag name. The column name regex is the regex that is being used. Although the value may not look like traditional regex, they work in the same way. For example, if the country value matches exactly, the regex country has been matched and a tag will be placed. The data type regex refers to the regex that will check the data type of a column. The lower length value allows you to specify the length of a value in a column to restrict the matching. Likewise, the upper length value allows you to specify the length of a value in a column to restrict this matching. Lastly, the description column is a section to provide notes. Now we can create a submit form for our data activity. From Actions, choose Create Data Scanning Submit Form. This will bring up a screen to select the server you want to use. This will be the server that executes the scanning job. Next, we will define our form's parameters. We will give a name for a new form or choose an existing form to update. Then we will select the group the form will be saved in. Lastly, click Execute. Now we can execute our scanning job. From the top component, choose Execute as the action and press the play button. A form will appear to input in our job details. The connection ID to scan will default to the connection ID for the database attached to this activity. If changes to the database are expected, toggle the Run Schema Crawler to get Catalog Metadata option to on. When toggled, it will give an option to choose the log level used by the crawler. Lastly, the Update the Tags in Attached Definition version will create tags in the definition version rather than only in the database. With our scan complete, we can now review the results by downloading the zip file. These 3 reports will show the rules used during our scanning for each of the category lists: the namerules.csv, the scanreport.csv, and regexrules.csv. There are also other reports in this zip file. The scanreport.txt contains a summary of the scan and where tags have been added. This report also shows enumerations, which check if there's a limited number of values for a column. This could indicate that the column is a reference column rather than containing transactional data. We also have reports for the database enumeration before and after, and tags before and after. An example of each of these reports will be included inside of our documentation.